Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since you've seen a video uploaded on this channel. It's been a while since I've jumped rope. Quite some time ago, I tore some ligaments in my ankle in a rugby-related incident, and I had to get some treatments on that and rehab, and then shortly thereafter I had a bad injury to the bottom of my foot where I damaged my foot on some rocks at the sea. So that limited my ability to jump rope. So I'm delighted to be out here jumping rope today next to the sea. What a beautiful spot. And one thing I absolutely love about jumping rope is you don't really need a lot of space to do it. I found this relatively flat rock, so I'm using that today as my surface. So the barriers to entry in terms of jumping rope are very minimal. You need basically a flat surface that's free of debris. I'm using a cross rope jump rope today. This is a more expensive brand of jump rope. It's awesome. If you can afford one, fantastic. If you can't, no worries. You can pick up a cheap PVC jump rope at a sporting goods store or online for just a few dollars. If you are a beginner, I often recommend starting with a PVC jump rope just to see whether you like jumping rope. And then after that, you can experiment, if you want, with more expensive jump ropes, different types of jump ropes. You can get a jump rope with a longer handle than this, for example. You can get cable jump ropes. So the barriers to entry, very minimal. The benefits of jumping rope are absolutely fantastic. I'll link below to a video which I made talking about the benefits. Today, since I haven't jumped rope in a while, I'm just kind of taking it easy, taking a lot of breaks. So if you're new to jumping rope, if you have to stop a lot in between jump rope moves, or if you're learning a jump rope move, you have to take a lot of breaks, you find yourself getting tired, or the rope gets stuck on your feet or your legs, it's all good. Just dust yourself off and begin again. One key if you are new to jumping rope is to try to jump low off the ground. A jump rope is really not that thick, so we don't need to jump that high to clear the rope. Of course, if you're new to jumping rope, you'll probably start off jumping far higher than necessary. I know when I first started jumping rope, I was bending my knees like so to clear the rope, and that's exhausting, and it makes it very difficult to jump rope or to perform several repetitions or hops of the rope in a row. So you can even just begin warming up by jumping just in a few inches off the ground to mimic what it is like to jump over the rope. And then you can begin by trying to do one hop of the rope. Spin the rope overhead and then jump. Step over the rope again, spin the rope, and then hop. You essentially begin your hop when the rope is going overhead. So as the rope is going overhead, you push into the ground a little bit with the front part of your foot, the toes and the balls of your feet, push into the ground, and then you jump over the rope. And then when you get good at performing one repetition, go for two or more. The more you do it, of course, the easier it will get. But if you're new to jumping rope, don't do too much too soon or too often. It can place a lot of strain on your lower leg muscles, in particular your calves, your soleus muscles, your Achilles tendon, and even your foot. A good idea when you're jumping rope is to stretch your calves after a jump rope session, before, and really important, going back to ankle injuries, loosen up your ankles before you start jumping rope. So just a few basic 2-foot hops. So before I actually hit record there, I was warming up a good bit so I can go straight into double unders and some fancy tricks. But for the time being, I'm just gonna take it easy while I'm doing this video. Mention a few things. As you might be able to tell here, I'm not wearing the Paluva barefoot 5-toe minimalist shoes that you would have seen in videos over the last few years. I absolutely love those, and I still highly recommend people to try those out. They're fantastic for jumping rope. Unfortunately, I really put mine through the mill, and they've essentially worn out. I'm sure I'll get another pair in the future. For the time being, I had previously ordered quite some time ago 2 pairs of these 2021, I believe, Nike Free 5.0 shoes. So I'll be wearing those for a while. I've long talked about jumping rope in minimalist shoes. I've been wearing minimalist shoes, barefoot style shoes, for over 20 years. Huge fan of those Paluva barefoot minimalist shoes. So if you can try them for jumping rope, I highly recommend it. Having each toe having their own compartment, it really makes you have a different feel and sense of the ground when you're jumping or even walking or running. They're quite cool. But these, the Nike Free 5.0, the 2021 version, they come relatively close to what it would be like using a more minimalist shoe. All right, so one other thing I'd like to mention is I often talk about breathing in jump rope videos, and I co-wrote a book on breathing with a very well-known breathing instructor, Patrick McKeown. When I'm jumping rope, even when I'm walking or running, oftentimes I will practice what are called breath holds. I will take a small inhale in through my nose, a gentle inhale out through my nose, and I will walk for a certain number of paces until I feel a strong urge to inhale again with my nose. Same applies when I'm jumping rope. I will sometimes exhale through my nose and try not to inhale until I feel a strong urge while I continue to jump rope. It's just a fantastic way to train your body to get more efficient at using oxygen. And you know, when you're skipping rope, if the rope does get caught in your feet or you just want to take a little bit of a break, you could always use that time to do a little bit of stretching. As so, stretching my quads. Good. Maybe reach down to the ground, stretch out the backs of your legs. You could also do some dynamic mobility moves like this fire hydrant. You go forwards and backwards. You can also bring your leg to the front and to the back. Show here. You could also bring your leg across your body, like so. I'm turning my foot as I'm doing this. You can always do some shoulder windmills, backwards, forwards. One of my favorite moves, gentle move, just to loosen up and just gentle swings like this, twisting the motions of the body. And notice I'm kind of pivoting my foot as I'm doing these. You don't have to, you can keep your feet planted on the ground, but I like to add in a little bit of a pivot from time to time. You can also move your arms up and down like so in an alternate fashion. You could also reach for your feet like so. You can also just shake out your body in between jump rope moves, just like so. Just gently bounce it up and down, let my upper body relax. And of course, your feet, your ankles, you definitely want to keep those loose when you're jumping rope. A fantastic move to warm up your feet is simply tapping your toes against the ground like so. You can do them in an alternate fashion like I'm doing here, or you can do them at the same time. You can also rock up onto your calves, back onto your heels, lift your feet off the ground as you do this. Just a couple fantastic moves to loosen up your feet, your ankles, your lower legs. Here I'm doing a boxer skip variation. I'll provide a link down below to a tutorial or a couple tutorials on this move. As you progress with your jump rope skill, this is certainly a move that you'll want to learn, because with the basic 2-foot hop, both legs are having to work at the same time. Whereas with that boxer skip that I was just doing, one leg gets a momentary rest because you're shifting your body weight from one leg to the other. So it's a fantastic move to learn if you want to be able to jump rope, say, for longer periods of time without having to come to a stop. The regular 2-foot hop, because both legs are working at the same time, it's very easy for your legs to become tired, especially the calf muscles. It's somewhat ironic. The most basic jump rope move, jumping with your 2 feet together at the same time, is also one of the most tiring for your legs because they're both working at the same time. Whereas with other jump rope moves like the boxer skip, several others, each foot is getting a rest, actually in between hops. Gonna up the intensity now for a moment, and I'm gonna perform some double unders. And just before I do the double unders, I'm gonna exhale through my nose and perform as many double unders as I can until I feel a strong urge to breathe again, and then I will inhale through my nose and I will continue performing double unders while I try to breathe in and out through my nose. I've practiced nose breathing, nasal breathing for quite a long time, so I can perform even intense exercise while just using my nose. If you're new to intense exercise or you need to use your mouth for breathing, that's okay too. A lot of people find they will maybe inhale through their nose and exhale out through their mouth as the intensity picks up. But over time, if you continue to practice nose breathing, you'll get better and better at using your nose for inhaling and exhaling, even during intense exercise. But if you have to use your mouth, that's okay too. There's lots of benefits to nose breathing at rest and while you exercise, even while you sleep. A lot of people tape their mouths at night to train themselves or to ensure that they use their nose for breathing at night. So we're gonna do some double unders in a second. Okay, so just a few double unders there. And what you wouldn't have noticed, what I was talking about just beforehand, as I started doing those double unders, I exhaled through my nose and I performed as many double unders as I could before I felt a strong urge to inhale. And then I just started inhaling and exhaling as I normally would, using my nose while continuing to do some double unders there.